Good morning, traders. Market video signals. We're back. Thursday morning today. New Zealand Canadian is under the microscope, and we're grooming this position and pushing it bigger and bigger by the day. But I want to dial back a little bit to remind you how everything started. We noticed that the New Zealand Canadian was trading in a nice range, in a nice trading range. And price, after breaking over 83.66, it started to build some momentum, but then just recently it came back strong. And then we've noticed the encounter here, right? We were watching with a lot of anticipation to see what type of reaction we're going to have here at that 83.66. And we waited a couple of days. We saw price kind of trying to push through, failing, starting to turn around. And at the second day that it started to push forward, you can see we pulled the trigger the first time. So we kind of let price hit that 83.66 and start turning around before pulling the trigger, just not to try and catch a falling knife, right? This is very important. So you can see how we pulled the trigger the first day. The second day was positive, and we just kept building up on this position, right? And just a few hours ago, just a couple of hours ago, the third trade was thrown in. Now we're going to continue to push for a bigger position as long as price remains on the upside. But however, we are closing in on the target, so I'm not sure how many days we're going to have the the opportunity to actually push this position bigger. 86.63 is not too far away. In this type of momentum, we might get there in a couple of days. So just get ready. We still have about 140 pip to go, right? It's a bit of a move still. We're kind of halfway through if you judge the moment of entry, right? It's pretty much halfway through. Now, before we leave, guys, I want to show you the big picture. First, let's jump to the weekly chart and just analyze how things have played out here. As you can see, this is the moment of that downside correction that was encountering that 83.66 and then turning around. But even more interesting is the monthly perspective, because this is pretty much where we got our confidence from, when we noticed something quite interesting, right? I'm still talking about the same formation, the same setup. And from the monthly perspective, you can see this. We had an upside move that started back at September 2019, and then a big downside move that took us all the way to the very edge. At that point, price completely bounced off, right? It's a huge support level, 81, and it landed at the other side at the same month. That's how volatile this month was. But it did check on 86.63 before it bounced back down. Now, take a look where it actually ended up the month. That's where it becomes really interesting, right? Because you can see the close here, guys, is 83.50, right? 83.50, 83.69. 83.69, just 3 pip above 83.66, right? That's ridiculously tight. 83.69, almost 83.70. So that was very suspicious, right? That was kind of an announcement on the part of the New Zealand Canadian that it's going to hammer back towards the upper section, and it did, right? It actually started on the downside, bounced off, left that huge evidence of failing to break back below, and then started to hammer. So what happened this month? This month, again, was on the downside, coming down just to check up on that 83.66 from above. Nice retest, and then the bounce back up, right? Obviously huge support. When we saw price starting to touching base and beginning to pull back up, we knew this is a nice trading opportunity. This is a nice bullish trading opportunity, and here we are. Now, guys, stop loss level was also adjusted just recently, 83.50. We're keeping our distance, as you can see. And we'll be back hopefully soon to follow up on this situation. That's about that for this one. We'll be back with the next video. Take care.